especially characterised life in Shetland and also in Orkney as well, was the use of straw. And the reason for that wasn't always necessarily because straw was the best ever material to do a job, but it was more because it was the only material that they had to do a job. A strong piece of evidence of that is the huge number of different vessels that were used in a Shetland farm made of the straw for storing things and carrying things, when a wooden creel or a box or a container would have been more durable. And it was because, of course, in Shetland, so few trees, such an unreliable supply of timber, which was a product of the sea, not of the land, because people went to the beach to see what driftwood had come ashore. So that meant that there was so many different kinds of things in Shetland made with straw. To give you an example of something you wouldn't think would be made of the straw, ashes for a fire. The ash basket was made out of straw, somewhat bigger than this one I'm holding on to, but made in the same technique. And you'd think, well, that's going to not work. But of course they'd only put it in when they were absolutely certain that it was cold ash. And also, of course, if the worst came to the worst and the thing did take fire, although these people didn't have any disposable income, it was a product that they could make themselves anyway. So in the worst case scenario, your ash basket did get damaged, then you could make another one yourself. Another example I could maybe mention is the kind of baskets that people used to carry peats and other things on their back. I've got a photo, perhaps you can see in the photo there. The way that these things were made was that vertical bunches of straw were bound together by a continuous loop of rope, which was also made by hand, made by twisting either straw or rushes to make this kind of basket, and they'd carry peat on their back. Now in plenty of other places in the British Isles, that kind of task would be done by a wooden container, such as in the Hebrides where willow was used, and that was far stronger than this. But the Shetlanders didn't have any access to such a material, so they had to use it. And it would to us be amazing to see how many different things was made of the straw on the Shetland farm of that era. Mats for winnowing grain, baskets for fish, it was the thatch for a roof. People made dolls for bairns out of it, they made brushes out of it, all kinds of things were made out of it, mattresses made out of it. And in the case of this particular basket here, this is a small kind of basket called a toyik. And a toyik was any smallish basket that was made using this coil technique, where the straw is a continuous bunch running round in a spiral and it's lashed together with twine. And it could be for any task of containing things that was going to be clean. You couldn't obviously keep anything too grimy in here, but it could be balls of yarn. This one still has a ball of yarn in it, or hen's eggs or seabird's eggs, because people used to eat them too. Any of many different tasks the toyik was used for.